while we were filming and before we got into Clementine, I was like, I wonder what Clementine means. And then we would eat all the Clementines and I would eat so many Clementines. I'm like, is this what the movie means?
And then you split a Clementine in half.
Yeah. Honestly, I loved it because I love Clementine, so it was nice. It was an excuse to eat on set. So OT, what drew you to Clementine?
I read it in one sitting and I knew that it was special. And I think it was really just about the fact that it was a girl going through heartbreak, and I didn't know till midway in the script that her relationship was with a woman, which surprised me, and then it made me realize how much, you know, race, culture, gender doesn't matter, because when you're in love and when you fall out of love and when you're going through heartbreak, everyone feels the same thing, you know? And it just felt, I don't know, we've all gotten our hearts broken, and it just felt really relatable and fresh. Just really special. Why did you choose Clementine?
It was a beautiful film. It was written amazingly, and I loved how much was unsaid between the lines, and when you have something where it's not driven by dialogue, it really allows an actor to showcase their emotion through their eyes. And I think something that you and I did so beautifully was we read off of each other just by looking at each other, and it was so real and so natural and just so in the moment. And when you have a script like that, it hits deeper.
Little dialogue is definitely kind of scary. It's like those one-liners where you're like, oh, one line, it's easy, and then you say it and you're like, you're saying it 14 times. But I think the no dialogue is definitely sweet because it just really allows you to feel. And as an actor, that's all you want to do is feel all the emotions. The dynamic of Lana and Karen's relationship, it's interesting. There was a lot of healing and growing through them too. And I think when Karen got to the lake house, she was, I think, in no position to make new friends. She was kind of going through those like 7 stages of grief of just like, it's my fault, it's not my fault, I hate her, I hate myself. And then she meets this girl that's just a bubble of mysticism and just is so eerie. And then as like the friendship starts evolving, you start peeling the layers back and you start realizing that she's like so young and she's really just trying to learn and grow, and here's this like older person. That's why she's like, you're so cool when you say that, remember on the dock?
I think that they needed each other because they were both lost and they found parts of themselves in each other, and it was a growing experience for both of them. I feel like your character saw herself in Lana when you were in your relationship with Dee, and Lana's already putting on a show and playing a different character, and she's just trying to see what it's like to be somebody else. And I think that they both were growing up really fast and needed each other to slow down. I think that age is always one of those timeless stories of what is too young, what is too old, what is too big of an age gap, what is too close. Like, I think it's something that's always talked about, and as time goes on, society's norm changes also. And I think the mystery of not knowing how old anyone is and trying to add that together and put that into the film as an aspect heightened all of the drama and the stakes more.
It's weird, age in relationships, how it can like take your power from you or give you more power. And I think that was like something that we saw a lot in the film. Sydney, what do you hope young people take away from that specific scene where Lana gets taken advantage of?
I hope that viewers take away from that scene, being a teenager is hard, and there's so much to deal with and struggle with within family and social, and all of this pressure to be somebody at such a young age when you're still trying to find yourself.
That scene is it was really tough to film, and it was really tough to watch, because you see this young girl putting on this act act, and then when you see the footage, you see how vulnerable she really is and how lost she really is. And I hope that people can take away that don't be afraid to talk to someone. We don't advocate enough to trust in people and talk to people and just reach out and not be afraid to ask for help. And I think that sometimes that can be like the determining factor of helping someone or changing someone's life, is just knowing that there is a helping hand on the other side. Let's ask the hard-hitting questions about Euphoria and Cassie. Do you feel like there was any similarities between Lana and Cassie?
They're both lost and trying to find themselves, but they're definitely in complete different places in the world and in their lives, but they're both teenage girls, so there's going to be similarities because so many teenage girls are still trying to figure out who they are.
Euphoria season 2. I already know you're gonna say there's not much you can say, but there has to be, like, give me, even if it's like a color, like a color that describes the mood of season 2. You know, maybe you don't have to give anything away, but you can give me some sort of like a color or a fruit or
a Clementine. It's like a Clementine. There's a bunch of layers.
I know there's a bunch of layers, but give me just something, you know.
It's more intense. I can say it's more intense. Like, first season was a lot. Second season, it's out of the ballpark. So, it's gonna be an amazing, very intense, crazy season. That's all I can say. I can't. If I could talk about it, oh my gosh, I would, because there's so much tea to spill in it. I would love to, but I can't.
Well, we got crazy and we got intense, so we know if it gets any more intense than the first season.
It does.